Battlefield Hardline. So, the beta for this game just came out, and thought I'd give you guys my thoughts and impressions, just like every other person on YouTube and every other person who's probably been playing this. They've all probably been forming an opinion slowly as they've been playing, just as I have. But in this video, I thought I'd show you guys some awesome sniping gameplay I was able to get. I do really enjoy the snipers in this. They do feel basically like how Battlefield 4 snipers feel right now, and it's pretty difficult to play as, but once you get the hang of it, like, you can start getting those headshots and stuff, which, you know, right off the bat, one of the things I like is they've added, I don't know if you guys saw there, but this red hit marker indicator, and that means you've gotten a headshot, and usually that means that you've taken the enemy down. And so, yeah, I think that definitely helps when you're sniping. It helps you sort of know that you've gotten the kill, basically. So there have been a lot of changes implemented, and there's also been a lot of things that are sort of staying the same, which brings me to the point of the actual weapons. The actual weapons in this game are basically the same as Battlefield 4. I saw somebody was mentioning how they sort of seem like Battlefield 3 weapons. I don't really see that. I see Battlefield 4 written all over this game in both the textures that are used, the weapons, their damage models, even the way that, like, the sniper bolts or any sort of bullets, ammunition, all that stuff travels through the air. It all is basically the same as Battlefield 4. One of the major changes is this increased recoil. Basically, in all the weapons I saw in this game, I saw this crazy increase in recoil. And so this is sort of interesting. I think it sort of fits the idea, since basically Battlefield Hardline is a close quarters game. It focuses almost completely around close quarters gameplay, which is actually something I really enjoy. I've mentioned in previous videos, many videos of mine, that I am a big sucker when it comes for some good close quarters maps, and that's something, you know, it's been one of my gripes about Battlefield 4 is the fact that they don't have that. All they've got are these sort of long-range maps that are great for vehicles and stuff, but they don't allow infantry to shine. Basically, I feel like my wish has been granted, and now I've got an entire game dedicated to awesome ground combat, infantry to infantry combat. And so this is going to make for a lot more competitive, fun matches and awesomeness. And really, almost all aspects of this game give sort of the infantry members sort of what the tools they need to do well in this game. So, for example, you'll see me shooting at cars with, say, an assault rifle or something like that. And, you know, it may not do a whole bunch of damage, but it does do a certain amount of damage. And so things like that, like, it's all about, I feel like this game is all about giving the power of, you know, basically the game back into the hands of the infantry. So if you're up for that, if you're up for a game that allows you to be an infantry person and to be able to survive and do well and hold your own in almost every situation, like if you're a skilled player, you can survive in most situations in this game, which I can't really say the same for Battlefield 4. There are plenty of times when you can be an infantry member, say like a member of the assault class or a member of even the support class, and someone just tanks you from across the map, and there's really nothing you can do about it. In this game, you have the tools you need. You know, if you have good accuracy, you can shoot someone out of a helicopter. Even if you don't, you can use your accuracy to try to bring that helicopter down using your assault rifle. There's just a lot of things you can do as an assault, as not just an assault person, but as a infantry person in this game. And so for people like me that do a lot better as infantry members in Battlefield games, this is going to allow us to shine and just have a blast. Now, the reciprocal nature of that statement is also true then. So if you're a person, you love to play in tanks, you love to have your, you know, planes and things like that, which I think they are going to have planes in other maps and things like that. But if you like to, you know, just crush people in vehicles and things like that, you'll still find some of that here, but you're definitely not going to find any of that on the scope that you'd find in Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 is going to be your go-to game if you want to have fun in vehicles. If you want to have a much more infantry-focused experience, this is your go-to game. As I plow through some people with this little chain gun on the top of this SUV, something to note is there's no more suppression in this game. It's completely gone. So, once again, this all goes under, this is wonderful for the competitive player, for the player that wants to just, you know, dominate as an infantry person. What is this? Oh, I should have known better from a Battlefield beta game. Curse you, DICE, and your unstable game launches slash betas. But yeah, I figure I might as well just show you guys right now some of the gadgets you can get in this game. You have the grappling hook, gas mask, decoy, camera, zipline, and also the good old taser. So basically the way you get these things is you have to purchase them using cash that you get in-game. No, I didn't have to pay for, $500 or something to get that camera thing, although at times I wouldn't really put it past EA. But yeah, you don't actually have to do that. You use in-game cash that you get from playing the game. The longer you play, the more cash you'll get. And right now, it's really easy to buy things, but I think EA have mentioned that they're going to make it a lot harder to buy weapons and stuff using that in-game cash. So basically, you have to play for longer to unlock more things. So I'd say some of the gadgets that are the most sort of notable is, first of all, a grappling hook. Grappling hook's going to let you, if you find a vertical surface, and I think it's within like 70 meters or something like that, I think, basically you can Batman your way up there and get to the top of a building. So it's going to allow you to have a lot more verticality or a lot more mobility in the vertical direction. If you want to get up somewhere and be a little camping sniper noob person, then you can go ahead and you can sniper noob yourself to death, I guess. But yeah, you just go do your thing. Ziplines, if you find a platform, or not even a platform, it just needs to be, actually it might need to be a platform. If you find a surface that is basically horizontal to you, and it's, once again, I think it's that special number of 70 meters or so, if it's within that area or amount, then you can fire that good old bad boy, and you can Joker yourself over there. Joker, I mean, like in the beginning of the Dark Knight movie when the clowns are all, going over. Anyways, loose little metaphor there. Another little gripe about this game is, why did that shot, nor that shot, kill that guy? I have no idea, and that better as heck change, because I'll be damned if those windows are bulletproof. Like, there's no way. I think it's just like a Toyota pickup truck. And the last I checked, Toyota doesn't sell bulletproof windshields in their Toyota pickup trucks. So I hope that gets changed. I hope that if I snipe someone in the face while they're in their little Toyota pickup truck, that I'll get that kill. So what are the game modes that you can play? So as of right now, there's Blood Money and there's Heist. Basically in Blood Money, you've got a central location on the map, and in the central location, you've got a big old vault or a big old stash of money. And so you've got to go and you've got to collect the money from that stash, and you need to take it back to your vault. Now, the enemy team also has a vault, and what happens is you can steal money from the enemy team's vault and take it back to your vault, and the enemies can also obviously do the same thing. But what the goal is to fill your vault up with either money from the enemy team's vault, or fill it up from money that's just sitting around in the middle of the map that you got to collect. And you want to get as much money as you can in the least amount of time as possible. And this game mode is pretty fun, but I found that it really requires a dedicated team that knows what they're doing, and that is a rare find in Battlefield. So yeah, basically that's Blood Money. A lot of what you're seeing right now is Heist, and that's where I sort of had the most amount of fun, because yeah, Blood Money does require an immense amount of teamwork, and if your team isn't really all that coordinated, then it can get a little bit frustrating. But yeah, so this is Heist, and this is the second game mode that you can play in the beta. And basically what this is all about, it's sort of like Rush. Basically you got someone like that guy, and he's just gonna sit up there and keep doing his thing. But anyways, no, you've got someone that you're gonna have a vault truck that was back there, and I had some gameplay of it a little bit earlier. But basically you have someone, oh, here it comes the beat down. Why I didn't get the cool animation that puts my bat around his neck and stuff like that. Ooh, that could be taken sexually. I did not mean that sexually, but yeah, you take your bat around his neck and then he starts choking him. But gosh, that doesn't get less sexual the more I say it. Anyways, basically in Heist you have this vault truck. This truck's got a bunch of money. It's been run off the road, and you've got, if you're the robbers, you've got to arm that truck. Yeah, you've got to put a little charge on it. What that charge is going to do is it's going to open it up, give you all the monies. And so you've got to take that monies and you've got to transport it to, I think it's another truck. I wouldn't know because I've only played as the police in that one, so I don't know what the robbers have to do with it. But I think they've got to take it over there to that vault truck thing, and then basically they'll win the game. So this is basically sort of like Rush, and it actually works really well. It's a really cool, fresh game mode. You know, Rush was always my favorite mode in Battlefield 3, and to see them sort of take this little remix of what Rush was and make it into this new mode for Hardline really tickles my fancy. I really enjoyed that stuff. Gosh, enough with the sexual stuff. That's twice, no? And it's completely uncalled for, and my greatest, deepest apologies. What deepest? Oh gosh. Anyways. What you saw there, in that if I hold down Q, I basically get to choose what my perks are. So in Battlefield 3, your perks were basically, you want to run fast? Cool, you choose that. If hopefully your team will notice that you've chosen that, and they'll choose a different perk, seeing as they didn't stack. Anyways, flawed system, so they thought in Battlefield 4, let's switch it up. Let's make it so that you have basically a set of perks, whatever you want to call them, traits, perks, whatever. And basically the way you advance them is by following objectives. If you followed what your commander said, if you followed what your team squad leader said, you'd get those things full, and basically you'd have your little perks or whatever. But in this game, basically what they've done is they've sort of gone for a hybrid. The more team stuff you do, the more you'll fill up a certain meter, I think. It's a meter or some sort of thing. And basically, you then get to choose as you go what you want to fill up. So I don't know if you saw there, I think that was either spotting or unspotting. So basically, I then get to choose, do I want it to be harder for other people to spot me, or do I want to make it easier for myself to spot other people? So it sort of gives you a little bit more choice in the heat of battle. So for things that may be more important, like there's another upgrade perk where it's either flak jacket or I think it's like Kevlar or something like that, where basically you can either choose to be able to take more damage from infantry fire, or you can choose to take more damage from explosives and vehicles and things like that. So you make that choice in the middle of the battle. So I think that's really cool. It allows you to adapt, and if there's a whole bunch of people that are just wrecking your team with vehicles, then awesome, then you can adapt to that play style. So we've reached the end of the video, and you're probably wondering what are my actual impressions then about the game. Basically, I think this game should have been a DLC. This should have been the Vietnam DLC of Battlefield 4. This is not really a full game. As I said, there's a lot of great things that this game does, but you look at the textures, you look at the game, the gunplay. God, that was a pretty awesome moment there where that guy picked me up. But anyways, you look at all the features that this game has to offer, and most of it is just Battlefield 4 rehashed in the same package. There are a lot of improvements in terms of the infantry mechanics. As I said, I'm not going to, be a broken record and repeat myself there. But there's a lot of things for infantry that are now better, that work well, that just are completely awesome. But this is basically the same game as Battlefield 4. That can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. But for me, it means I'll probably be getting this game just because I love infantry combat and I like what this game has done for it. But this game, in my opinion, should not be $60. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed my little review of this beta so far. Keep in mind that this is, as I said, the beta, so there may be functions. I actually guarantee that there are weapons that I have not seen that will be added into the game, so that's not something I really touched upon because I think that is something that will drastically change. But in terms of I wanted to touch upon the mechanics this game has, and so I think hopefully I accomplished that. But I hope you guys, as I said, enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think of the beta if you got in. If you haven't, I think on Monday it becomes an open beta, so I think most people should be able to play. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but I think that should be a thing. Anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.